The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation has taken another turn, and this time it could be going in a new direction. After years of witnessing the franchise fumble through one quarterback after another, like a lost soul hunting for his keys in the dark, we're finally hearing some genuine insights from the guy who's meant to turn it all around. Shedeur Sanders just sat down for an exclusive interview that's got the whole NFL community talking. And I gotta say, what he shared about the Kevin Stefanski era and his fresh start with Todd Monken is nothing short of explosive. This isn't the usual scripted NFL player talk where they just thank God, shout out their teammates, and keep it moving. No way. This is the real deal. Straight from a rookie who just made it through one of the toughest first seasons in a long time. He's set to move on from what can only be called a nightmare chapter in Cleveland football. People online are going wild over what Sanders just dropped. Honestly, it's pretty clear why. When a first-round quarterback finds a cozy spot with someone he trusts and begins to reveal the behind-the-scenes details of his rookie season, you can bet that everyone will be all ears. The clip that just dropped is already blowing up, gaining views quicker than Baker Mayfield can point fingers after an interception. The reactions are flooding in from all corners of the football world. From passionate Browns supporters who have endured years of quarterback turmoil, to casual fans who enjoy witnessing Cleveland's ongoing saga, there's no shortage of opinions on what Shedeur just disclosed. Before we jump into the exciting details of what Sanders actually said, it's important to grasp the context surrounding it. This young man has just wrapped up what he referred to as the longest year of his life. Take a moment to consider that. He navigated the pre-draft process, the combine, where every facet of his physical and mental skills was evaluated and scrutinized. The draft was the moment where everything for him was on the line. Rookie minicamp was his first encounter with the lightning-fast NFL speed. Then came OTAs, where the playbook felt like it was written in a completely different language. Finally, the actual season hit, and defenses were relentless, aiming to take him down week after week. That's a tough challenge that would crush the average person. He managed to pull it off while shouldering the burden of being a Sanders, a first-round pick, and the so-called savior of a franchise that has wrecked more quarterback careers than a demolition crew takes down old structures. The most eye-opening moment occurred when Sanders was questioned about the coaching staff shift, particularly the move from Kevin Stefanski to Todd Monken. NFL players are typically coached from the very beginning to provide answers that are politically correct, avoiding any controversy or headlines that could stir things up. They've got it down to say things like, "We're focused on getting better every day." Meanwhile, the coach couldn't scheme his way out of a wet paper bag, despite putting us in a position to succeed. However, Sanders opted for a completely different strategy. When Steiny, his interviewer, and a Colorado alum that Sanders clearly trusts, brought up Stefanski, you could see the relief wash over Shedeur's face as he discussed being free from that situation. The body language said it all before he even said a word. Sanders shared that this year has a different vibe for him because he really gets what he's stepping into now. He's no longer that wide-eyed rookie who is clueless about what to face from NFL defenses or coaching. With a year of experience now in his corner, everything shifts dramatically. He discussed how that experience enables him to tackle things in a different way, to view the game from a fresh angle, and to prepare in methods he couldn't have grasped just a year prior. This is the type of development that distinguishes busts from true franchise players. Learning from a tough rookie season and returning stronger, smarter, and more prepared is key. What makes this situation truly intriguing is that Sanders isn't solely depending on his own growth. He's about to experience a total overhaul with a fresh coaching staff, an entirely new system, and crucially, a brand new philosophy for running the offense. You could really feel the energy Sanders had when he talked about Todd Monken. This was genuine excitement, not some scripted hype or polished media smile. This was real enthusiasm from a quarterback who finally feels supported by a coach who truly understands how to utilize his skills effectively. Monken is widely recognized in the league as an offensive genius, a coach who skillfully tailors his system to fit the strengths of his players, instead of trying to make them conform to a rigid scheme. While with the Baltimore Ravens, Shedeur was said to have his sights set on drafting Sanders, highlighting his strong belief in the young quarterback's potential. That's not merely a casual compliment or a statement made to boost Sanders' spirits. That's a solid assessment from a coordinator who's had the chance to work with some of the top offensive talents in the game, and definitely knows how to spot talent. Sanders recognized this during the interview, mentioning how Monken and the Ravens had him ranked high on their draft board. He pointed out that making draft decisions is a team effort, bringing together scouts, coaches, general managers, and ownership. Even though Monken had his sights set on him, things just didn't align as hoped. But now they're finally united in Cleveland. Both of them look genuinely excited about this chance. Monken has landed a young quarterback boasting elite arm talent, impressive processing speed, and an unteachable football IQ. Sanders has landed a coach who truly gets the modern offensive game, someone who knows how to safeguard young quarterbacks while still giving them the freedom to air it out. Plus, this coach has a solid history of nurturing quarterbacks to excel at the top tier. The difference in how Sanders talks about Monken compared to the quick mentions of Stefanski is incredibly striking. When Steiny attempted to address Stefanski head-on, he remarked, "Well, Coach Stefanski can't get upset anymore." Sanders' reaction spoke volumes. He didn't jump in to defend his former head coach. He was real about the situation, not pretending everything was perfect. He swiftly moved on, making it abundantly clear that he's eager to put that chapter behind him where it rightfully belongs. This is subtle diplomacy at its best, the sort of nuance that doesn't dominate the headlines with player-coach drama, yet still conveys a strong message to those who are truly watching. Sanders shared his thoughts on the mental and emotional challenges he faced during his rookie season, shedding light on just how tough that year truly was. He discussed the importance of stepping back from certain influences, emphasizing that you shouldn't allow outside factors to determine your self-worth or how you perform. This demonstrates an impressive level of maturity from a young player, showcasing emotional intelligence that often eludes even seasoned veterans. He understood that the relentless media attention, the chatter on social media, the never-ending breakdowns and critiques, it can all feel like too much if you allow it to take over. He chose to take a step back to concentrate on what truly counts, specifically the people who consistently support him and the relationships that keep him grounded when life gets hectic. The need to disconnect makes perfect sense when you think about everything he faced throughout the season. The Browns' offense under Stefanski was, to put it mildly, a complete train wreck. Watching that team attempt to operate on offense felt like witnessing someone struggle to put together IKEA furniture without any instructions, all while wearing oven mitts. Everything was a struggle. Everything felt completely out of place. In the end, you couldn't help but question how something that seemed so straightforward on paper could spiral into such a disaster in reality. Sanders faced tough situations that would test even the most experienced quarterbacks, frequently lacking the protection or tools needed to thrive, all while he had to endure discussions among media and fans questioning if he was the issue. Let's dive into the wild segment from the Cleveland media that's taken the internet by storm. These local analysts appeared on camera and earnestly debated the idea of trading for another quarterback, completely overlooking Sanders as a viable option before he's even had a chance to play a second season under a competent coaching staff. One of them actually claimed the Browns need to overhaul the entire quarterback room, as if Sanders is the issue after just one rookie season in a chaotic offense. Another proposed trade for M. Jones of all players, as if that's a more effective approach than nurturing a former first-round pick who demonstrated real potential, even while facing an incredibly tough circumstance. This conversation is off the charts in terms of absurdity. These are the same media folks who saw Baker Mayfield struggle in Cleveland, only to thrive elsewhere when he finally got some real coaching and support. They saw Deshaun Watson come in with huge expectations, only to completely crumble under the pressure. Cleveland fans have seen countless quarterbacks come and go, and the answer to their struggles never seems to change. It's time to move on from the current guy and bring in a fresh face. It's like the player is always the scapegoat, while the organization gets a free pass. It's the epitome of madness. Repeating the same actions repeatedly while hoping for a different outcome. The timing of this situation just adds to the absurdity. Sanders wrapped up his rookie season, a year marked by frequent coaching changes, inconsistent schemes, offensive line struggles, and the typical challenges that come with moving from college to the NFL. He displayed impressive arm talent, resilience, strong leadership, and those essential intangibles that teams typically rally around. Cleveland media is quick to pivot, already on the hunt for the next big story. Totally sold on the idea that there's definitely a better option out there. This ongoing trend has characterized Browns football for years, and it's precisely the reason the franchise has been trapped in quarterback limbo for such an extended period. The suggestion about M. Jones is downright hilarious when you really think about it. Jones had a solid rookie season in New England, benefiting from a strong supporting cast and top-notch coaching. But then he completely crumbled when the situation shifted. He's currently a backup who couldn't maintain his starting position, even with the team pouring substantial resources into his development. Cleveland media really believes he's a better choice than putting time into developing Sanders. Unbelievable. It's the sort of reasoning that only adds up if you've taken a few too many hits to the head, or if you're deliberately trying to undermine the team. Now, let's dive back into Sanders and explore what this fresh chapter with Monken truly signifies. The buzz in Cleveland is real right now, especially among those who really get football. Monken has an offensive approach that will mesh perfectly with Sanders' style. He enjoys launching the ball downfield. He prioritizes a quarterback's ability to move and keep plays alive. He designs strategies that leverage his players' strengths instead of making them conform to a strict system. This is precisely what Sanders required. A coach will craft an offense that highlights his skills instead of burying them under a barrage of screens and cautious play calling. While with the Ravens, Shedeur played a crucial role in helping Lamar Jackson secure MVP awards by designing an offense that fully utilized Jackson's exceptional abilities. He realized that you can't transform a dynamic runner into a traditional pocket passer. You create a system that maximizes his running talent while also tapping into his growing passing skills. During his time with the Buccaneers, he played a crucial role in helping Tom Brady achieve impressive stats by developing an aggressive downfield passing strategy that leveraged Brady's exceptional arm strength and quick decision-making abilities. Now he's got Sanders, a QB who brings together impressive arm strength, solid mobility, and exceptional football smarts. If you're a Browns fan who's endured years of offensive struggles, the potential ahead is truly thrilling. Sanders clearly sees this moment for what it truly is, a prime opportunity to hit the reset button and embrace coaching that aligns perfectly with his unique skill set. In the interview, he shared how his perspective on what truly matters has shifted significantly, how his viewpoint has changed after making it through that tough rookie season. He zeroed in on the folks who have consistently supported him, the connections that truly count, the solid base that keeps him steady when the world around him is in turmoil. This is precisely the attitude you want to see from a young quarterback as he enters his second season. He's staying focused and not letting the media hype or outside pressures distract him. He's focused on getting better, on developing a strong connection with his new coaching staff, and on showing that the challenges he faced last year were more about the circumstances than his talent. Monken's desire to draft Sanders during his time with the Ravens definitely adds an intriguing twist to the entire scenario. Picture this: you're a quarterback, and your new head coach had his eyes set on you from the start. He went through your college highlights and saw a player he believes can be the cornerstone of the team. That's definitely a huge confidence booster for Sanders. He understands that he's not just a project Monken took over and needs to figure out how to handle. He's a player that Monken really wanted, truly believed in, and clearly saw as a potential franchise cornerstone. A coach's belief can truly change the game for a young player's growth. This pattern has repeated itself time and time again throughout the NFL. When a quarterback and coach are on the same page, when there's a shared belief and trust, and when the system plays to the player's strengths, incredible things can unfold. Check out what went down with Jared Goff when he broke free from the chaos in Los Angeles and found a new home with Dan Campbell in Detroit. Check out what Baker Mayfield achieved after leaving Cleveland and finding his footing in Tampa Bay. Check out how Sam Darnold turned his career around once he found himself in a situation that truly fit his style. The key element in all these success stories isn't that the quarterback magically gained talent in an instant. The skill was undeniable from the start. The coaching, the system, the organizational support, and the environment all underwent significant changes. The immediate dismissal of Sanders by the Cleveland media is incredibly frustrating for those who truly grasp the nuances of football development. A young quarterback is under the spotlight, showcasing moments of brilliance even while navigating a tough situation. Rather than feeling pumped about the potential he can unlock with improved coaching, they're already on the hunt for alternatives. This kind of narrow-minded approach is exactly what has held the Browns back from greatness for years. They're so eager for quick results that they struggle to embrace the necessary journey of developing a strong team over time. Sanders' remarks about taking the time to refine his skills and his relentless pursuit of improvement reflect a commendable self-awareness that fans truly appreciate in a young quarterback. He's owning up to the challenges he faced during his rookie season. He's taking full responsibility, not pointing fingers at coaches, teammates, or the situation. He's recognizing that growth is a journey, that reaching the level of an elite NFL quarterback takes time, and that it demands ongoing effort and improvement. This growth mindset, paired with Monken's coaching skills, might just be what Cleveland needs to tackle their long-standing quarterback dilemma once and for all. Tony Grossi's insights from the other media segment bring a fresh perspective to this narrative. Grossi discussed the importance for the Browns to avoid repeating last year's mistakes, emphasizing that they must not kick off the season in confusion without a solid quarterback strategy. He pointed out that the coaching change is beneficial for Sanders, as it introduces new insights and a different perspective to his growth. In true Cleveland media style, he also mentioned he wouldn't rule out Deshaun Watson, as if Watson hasn't already revealed his true self at this stage of his career. It's the same tired routine from the Cleveland media. They just can't seem to fully back the young quarterback on the roster, always leaving a way out in case they need to switch things up. This type of organizational uncertainty is precisely what has haunted the Browns for years. They pick a quarterback, hesitate to back in completely, freak out after a tough season, bring in a new guy, and the whole cycle just keeps going on and on. In contrast, franchises such as the Packers, Chiefs, and 49ers focus on nurturing their young quarterbacks. They create systems that highlight their strengths, allow them the necessary time to develop, and ultimately enjoy the rewards of that investment in patience. It's pretty straightforward. It's definitely a challenge, and it demands faith and dedication from everyone involved in the organization, starting from the ownership all the way to the position coaches. What Sanders really needs at this point is some solid stability and strong support. He requires a team that stands by him, especially during tough times. He requires coaches who will push him to improve, while also safeguarding his well-being. He requires an offensive line that provides him with the time he needs to make his throws. He needs playmakers who can dominate their matchups and create big plays. He requires a supportive fan base and media that recognize that development takes time. Now that Monken is at the helm, the coaching aspect is definitely sorted out. Monken has consistently demonstrated his ability to cultivate quarterbacks and craft offenses that thrive at the elite level. You could feel the thrill in Sanders' voice as he talked about this new chapter. After a year he called the longest of his life, he finally sounds optimistic about the future. He comes across as a player who has faith in his coaches, who embraces the journey, and who recognizes a solid route to growth. Hope and belief are vital for young players, particularly quarterbacks, as they carry a significant weight in determining their team's success or failure. When a quarterback has faith in their game and the teammates around them, that trust translates to the field through sharp decision-making, bold throws, and standout performances in critical moments. The difference in how Sanders discussed preparation and approach this year compared to last year is quite revealing. Last year, he was overwhelmed, trying to take in all the information, while also excelling in the toughest football league on the planet. But the difference this season, he has a wealth of experience to tap into. He knows what's coming. He's aware of the areas he needs to improve. With that experience and improved coaching, we can expect to see a boost in performance. Nothing's set in stone, that's for sure. Football isn't always predictable, but for the first time since his arrival in Cleveland, things are looking up and heading in the right direction. We can't overlook the mental and emotional development Sanders appears to have experienced throughout his rookie season. He discussed the importance of tuning out distractions that aren't significant, emphasizing the value of prioritizing relationships and the people in our lives over the surrounding chaos. Emotional maturity is crucial for quarterbacks dealing with relentless scrutiny and criticism. The best players understand from the start that they need to block out distractions, concentrate on what's within their grasp, and keep their heads clear when challenges arise. Sanders appears to have picked up on these lessons quicker than many, which bodes exceptionally well for his future growth. The individuals surrounding Sanders, those he acknowledged for their unwavering support during his journey, also deserve recognition. Having a solid support system, be it family, friends, teammates, or mentors, is essential for young players facing the hurdles of professional sports. These are the folks who keep you steady when others are either lifting you up to the skies or dragging you down to the ground. They're the ones who help you remember your true self when the outside world tries to label you based on your most recent game. Sanders definitely appreciates these connections and relies on them, which is precisely what you want to witness. As we gear up for the next season, the excitement is palpable for those who can muster a bit of optimism about Cleveland football. Sanders showcased his innate skills, which were clear even in a challenging rookie season. Monken has consistently demonstrated his ability to drive offensive success and nurture quarterback talent. The organization appears to be finally locking in on a clear direction, instead of juggling multiple options. If they can put some real talent around Sanders on the offensive line and at the skill positions, if they can provide Monken with the resources he needs to execute his system effectively, and if they can finally establish some organizational stability, this could really come together. But let's be real, and we should always keep it real. There's a solid chance that Cleveland might just mess this whole thing up. They might start to feel uneasy after a sluggish beginning and begin to doubt Sanders once more. They might not deliver the necessary protection or weapons, and then point fingers at him when the offense falters. They might let media pressure sway their choices, instead of relying on their own assessments and development strategy. They can pull off a variety of moves that winning teams steer clear of, simply because they're the Browns, and that's just how they roll. The track record isn't looking too good. For the time being, there's definitely a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Sanders is sounding fresh and pumped up, not worn out or defeated. Monken offers real offensive know-how and a new outlook. The elements are in place for something extraordinary to unfold if everything aligns just right. It's uncertain if everything will truly align, but the groundwork appears to be more solid than it has been in a long while.